Hey there, welcome to the video. Today, I'm going to go through 7 common mistakes that could get your KDP account suspended or worse, terminated. Now, it's very common to run into some issues when you first start publishing low and medium content books on Amazon KDP. I know I did, and many others who got those dreaded Amazon emails regarding their KDP account. Most of the time, it turns out to be something minor, like sending in some license proof that you can use a certain graphic or element that you used in your book. But sometimes it could be something more serious, like a trademark infringement that could actually lead into getting your account suspended or worse, terminated. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you. I just want to make sure you don't make these 7 common mistakes that could cost you your KDP account. But before that, hey guys, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. And right now we're talking about low and medium content publishing on Amazon KDP. So if this sounds interesting to you, feel free to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, the first common mistake that people make that they're not even aware of is plagiarism. And that's when you use someone else's work and you don't give them proper credit. This could be their work when it comes to text, images, to other creative content. Let's say you're doing some research on a potential book that you could be making, and you type into Google coloring book for kids. And then you're scrolling around here and maybe you see something that you like this one right here. And then you click on it. It takes you to Amazon's best sellers page for children's coloring books. And you see this cover right here. And just theoretically, let's just say you wanted to use that exact same cover for your book cover. Well, that's plagiarism, and that's a big no-no. And then for another example, let's say you're creating a short story children's book, and you scroll down this list and you see a book like this 5-minute story book for kids. You click on it, and then you check the interior and you see some of the pages that they use for their stories. And you say, hey, this is kind of cool. Let me use this sentence in my book. That's plagiarism. That's something you can't do, you shouldn't do, and you might end up, whether it's now or later, getting into trouble with KDP. Now, the reason you don't want to do this is because KDP employs a bunch of tools and algorithms to detect plagiarism. And this includes comparing uploaded content onto their site against a huge database of works, whether it be on Amazon or online in general. And so if your book is flagged for plagiarism, your account could be suspended and your book could be removed from the platform. Now, to avoid plagiarism, it's pretty simple. Make sure you use your own content, things that came from you. And if you were to use someone else's content, you have to cite it properly or use a site that can detect plagiarism and then alter it accordingly so you're not actually plagiarizing someone else's work. For example, you could take something like this and put it into a plagiarism checker like QText or DupliChecker, and then try to see if anything comes up online. And for example, this one, it says there's 50% plagiarism matches for 2 sites here. It even tells you where it is. But on the other site, it actually says that it's 100% unique. And so this is not a foolproof method because one site can differ from the other. Now, for example, let's go back here and say oh, there's maybe a sentence or 2 that might be plagiarized. You can go ahead and grab your whole entire text here and you can put it into a paraphrasing tool like so. You can paste it and then you can try to paraphrase it this way. And you can try to change it up as much as you can to try to get away from the plagiarism checks. But once again, it's not a foolproof method, and we don't really know if this works 100% of the time. Now, the next common mistake that people make has to do with reviews. Now, believe it or not, a lot of people try to, whether it's good intention or not, manipulate reviews. And this means trying to get reviews to get a better ranking for their book, which means that they can sell more books. And this is strictly against Amazon's policies. And if you're caught doing this, well, your account is good as gone. This includes things like buying fake reviews, offering incentives for positive reviews, or participating in review exchanges with authors. I'm not going to list the names of the sites that you could buy these from. I'm sure you can do a quick Google search or just search on YouTube because it's everywhere. But whether or not they offer legitimate services, it still isn't a good idea to do that if you're trying to run an honest business. The next common mistake has to do with violating content guidelines. Now, if you're publishing on Amazon KDP, then you know it's their business, it's their rules. So it's really good to know what you can and cannot do. So if you head over to Amazon KDP, they have a section all about content guidelines. So this is the place you want to go to know everything that you need to know about what you can and cannot do. And before you even publish your first book, you should know all about the content guidelines. So I strongly urge you to go ahead and read all this information for your benefit. This has things on illegal or infringing content, on things like offensive content, things with AI when you use their text, images, or translations, poor customer experience, because that could also lead to a suspension, public domain content if you use that in your books, as well as how to report violations. So once again, you should be going on here before you even publish a book, or even after you publish a book and you haven't read through their content guidelines, you need to go do that and do it right now. The next common mistake that people tend to make is using the wrong or misleading metadata. And so this could be in your title, your subtitle, your keywords, your author name, your description, and you need to make sure that the metadata that you use in these fields are as accurate as possible to your specific book. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, misleading metadata can lead to a review of your account, of your book, and then also lead to a suspension if it keeps happening. So just like the content guidelines for KDP, they also have a section based solely on metadata guideline for books. As you can see, they say authors, publishers, and selling partners are responsible for adhering to our content guidelines. We invest significant time and resources to enforce these guidelines using a combination of machine learning, automation, and dedicated teams of human reviewers. We'll remove content that does not adhere to these guidelines and promptly investigate any book when notified of potential non-compliance. If we remove a title, we let the author and publisher or selling partner know that they can appeal our decision. They talk about metadata in the book title, repeating generic keywords like notebook, journal, gifts, books. So you don't want to use these multiple times in your title. Unauthorized reference to other titles or authors. Unauthorized reference to a trademark term. Reference to a sales rank. You don't ever want to use things like best selling in your title. Reference to advertisements and or promotions. Only using punctuations. Using only unknown, NA, blank, none, null, not applicable, or HTML tags. The same can be applied to the optional subtitle field, as well as the series field if you're creating a series for your books. Now for the description, they say that we cannot accept any of the following information, such as this and obscene or offensive content, phone numbers, physical mail addresses, email addresses, or website URLs, reviews, quotes, testimonials, requests for customer reviews, advertisements, watermarks on images or videos or promotional material, time-sensitive information like dates of promotional tours, seminars, or lectures, availability, price, alternative ordering information, spoiler information for books, and any keywords or book tag phrases. And then also with the author name, you have to be very careful that you don't want to use a misleading author name. And then there's a little bit more with contributors, as well as the ebook only sections. And then for your keywords, so this is talking about the 7 keyword boxes. So examples here of items that are prohibited as keywords, but not limited to, are other authors, books by other authors, sales ranks, advertisements or promotions, anything that is unrelated to your book's content. And that's a big one. You don't want to be keyword stuffing things in a children's book, but using keywords that are not children's book related, that are completely opposite of the book that you're making. And then as you can see, there is a little bit more. And so once again, I urge you to go through this site and make sure that you know all this information so that you can create accurate metadata for your book. Now, the next common mistake that people tend to make is a big one, and it has to do with copyright infringement. And this is when you use copyrighted material or information in your book without the proper authorization. Sometimes it's hard to know if something is copyright or something has a trademark. This includes using text, images, or other creative works without obtaining the necessary permissions from the actual copyright holder before you include it in your book and hitting the publish button. Now, a site that can help you avoid copyright as well as trademark infringement is the United States Patent and Trademark Office, or uspto.gov. So as you can see here with copyright, it includes artistic, literary, or intellectually created works such as novels, music, movies, software code, photographs, and paintings that are original and exist in a tangible medium such as paper, canvas, film, or digital format. So an example would be song lyrics to Let It Go from Frozen. And then when it comes to trademark, which is another big thing, what's legally protected is a word, phrase, design, or a combination that identifies your goods or services, distinguishes them from the goods or services from others, and indicates the source of your goods or services. So an example would be Coca-Cola for soft drinks. And there's actually a very nifty search feature here with USPTO that can help you when it comes to dealing with copyrights and trademarks. So you can go here to their trademark search and then type in what you want to know if it has a trademark or not. So a very popular type of activity book for kids is the dot to dot book, also known as Connect the Dots. Now let's just search if Connect the Dots has a trademark. And as you can see right here, it says Connect the Dots, children's activity books. So if we go look, we can read children's activity books, coloring books, writing pads of paper containing pre-printed illustrations to decorate writing implements. And so this is why a lot of people do not use Connect the Dots, because it has a live trademark, and instead will use the term dot to dot. So this is a very important thing to know when dealing with publishing books. The next common mistake has to do with creating multiple KDP accounts. Now, you might not even know you created multiple KDP accounts until you get that notification from Amazon, but Amazon strictly prohibits having multiple accounts. Now, it's entirely possible that they'll approve multiple accounts for one person, but they're gonna have to go through a review and actually approve it for you, so you would know if you had multiple accounts. As you can see straight from Amazon's terms of agreement under account information, they say no multiple accounts. You may maintain only one account at a time. If we terminate your account, you will not establish a new account. And so straight from the lion's mouth, there you go. And the last common mistake has to do with payment issues. Believe it or not, if your bank information doesn't line up with the information that you provided when you signed up for KDP, you could have issues, and it could possibly lead to a suspension or even a termination of the account. So this is as simple as just ensuring that the information is as accurate as possible, that everything lines up with the information that you put on your account and the information for your bank. If it doesn't line up, they're not going to pay you, and well, what's the point of doing KDP? Well, there you have it. Those are 7 common mistakes that could get your KDP account suspended or even terminated. Now, if you want me to go through 7 more common mistakes, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a new video. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.